Attackers are now using deep fake vishing to perfectly clone the voice of someone you love. By using real-time neural audio models, they can hold a live, interactive conversation designed to launch a psychological attack against you or a vulnerable relative. The most common variation of this is the emergency distress scam. Here, the target is usually a parent or grandparent, and the objective is to extract immediate funds for bail money, medical fees, or emergency wire transfers. Because modern live attacks use speech-to-speech conversion, the AI preserves the attacker's intonation and emotion while instantly resynthesizing the audio in the victim's cloned voice. They can dynamically respond to your questions. Relying on simply recognizing a loved one's vocal timbre is no longer a viable defense. To protect your family, you need to build procedural muscle memory. We are going to walk through a 15-minute family tabletop drill designed to help you practice navigating these high-stress calls. Survival during a voice clone attack depends on behavioral resilience. Training for the psychological ambush allows you to maintain procedural discipline, even when the technology sounds indistinguishable from the real person. Step 1 is setting up the simulation. You need 2 family members, one to act as the facilitator and one as the target. You also need a phone and 15 minutes of uninterrupted time at home. For the setup, the facilitator calls the target using an unfamiliar number or from another room on speakerphone. This simulates the sudden, unexpected intrusion of the scam. This document outlines the drill, starting with Inject 1, the emotional hook. The facilitator reads from this script using a panicked, sobbing voice, claiming they were in a car crash and have been arrested. Notice the instruction to use crying, heavy breathing, and background noise. Scammers deliberately use this tactic to mask the digital glitches, latency, and robotic artifacts that occur during live AI synthesis. If the target begins to show signs of genuine, dangerous panic during this phase, the facilitator must immediately pause and announce that this is only a drill. Scammers weaponize the target's own adrenaline. By triggering an immediate stress response, they attempt to bypass critical thinking before the victim can even listen for digital artifacts in the voice clone. Next, the simulation tests escalation by moving to Inject 2. The facilitator abruptly drops the crying act and assumes the authoritative persona of a public defender demanding a temporary appearance bond. As the text shows, this relies on a triad of psychological pressure points: secrecy, telling the target not to tell other relatives, an artificial deadline of 45 minutes, and demands for unusual payment rails like direct wire or cash pickup. After delivering the demand, the facilitator stops speaking. This triggers Inject 3, the verification test. It is a silent evaluation phase to see exactly how the target reacts to the pressure. You fail the drill if the target stays on the line, begins confirming bank details, or accidentally gives the attacker hints by offering multiple choice questions or providing personal information. The correct protocol and the success condition for this drill requires the target to interrupt the narrative, ask a verification question, and state firmly that they are hanging up to call their relative's personal number. Staying on the line, even to argue or investigate the claims, is a failure. It allows the attacker to maintain control of the environment and continue feeding the target false context. Once the simulation ends, you must hold a post-drill family debrief. The exercise is useless unless the family uses it to agree on a strict defensive protocol going forward. This checklist details the rules you need to enforce. Focus on Rule 2, the hang up first rule, which states that legitimate authorities never penalize someone for disconnecting to verify an identity. Rule 3 is the two-person rule, mandating that no money is transferred without speaking to a second trusted family member first. This is known as out-of-band verification. It is the act of breaking the untrusted inbound connection entirely and then initiating a new independent outbound connection using a pre-saved trusted phone number. Here is a list of 10 unguessable family verification questions. Serve as a highly secure alternative to easily forgotten family safe words. They rely on hyper-specific, offline personal lore, like an obscure nickname for a broken toaster or a specific food dropped right before Thanksgiving dinner. These are facts that data brokers and social media scrapers cannot access. Replacing panic with a rigid, non-negotiable verification policy completely neutralizes the attacker's technological advantage. Running this 15-minute drill builds the practical experience that non-technical relatives need to become hardened targets. They walk away equipped with the procedural muscle memory needed to respond correctly under pressure. Pick your unguessable family question today and schedule the simulation with your family for the upcoming weekend. While artificial intelligence will inevitably continue to sound more perfectly human, a prepared family's safety relies entirely on verification, not recognition.